So thanks again for having me. I'm really pleased to participate in today's session. And that welding robot was super cool. Right now, I'm thinking of all of the things that we can do with our Techsplorers, our program participants, in trying to get our hands on a robotic welder. That is really, really cool. So my presentation today will really focus on the importance and impact of career exploration, in particular career exploration at a young age and with a gender lens. That's really Techsploration scope. That's what we focus on. So I'll be highlighting the success of Techsploration's program model and takeaways for industry participation in career exploration programming. So, how it impacts awareness and participation in in-demand fields like advanced manufacturing. So I won't be talking about specific careers in advanced manufacturing. I believe Kathy's going to talk about that a bit later. But really, I'll be focusing on the career exploration process and that importance. So a bit about Techsploration. If you're not familiar with us, we are an award-winning Nova Scotia-based nonprofit. We were established in 1998 as a joint initiative with the Nova Scotia Apprenticeship Agency and the Nova Scotia Community College. So those are our founding program partners. At our core, what we focus on is delivering hands-on mentor-led programming to young women in grades 9 through 12. And I will highlight later why we focus on specifically grade 9. It's an important part of what we do. Really, the aim of our programming is to encourage and empower young women in particular to explore careers in science, engineering, trades, and technology. So fields where women remain significantly underrepresented. So our goal is to really change that. And I will mention later too that young men do participate in a portion of our programming as well. So what do we do? The success of Techsploration's program really is based on its model. And with the frequency and intensity of our program, about 50% of our alumni end up pursuing fields in either STEM or skilled trades fields. So the program works. We've been around since 1998, so we've been able to perfect our program model for about 23 years. So I'm just going to provide, normally this honestly takes an hour when I go through our 4-phase program model. So I'm going to make this a bit more concise, but if you do have questions on it after, please do not hesitate to ask those questions. So phase 1 and phase 2 and phase 3 of our programming begin in grade 9. So the students who participate in our programming in grade 9 are committing basically to an entire year of core programming. Phase 1, Techsploration Goes to Work, is a work site experience. So we have school teams of young women, teams of about 6 to 8 young women who are matched with a female industry role model. So it could be a welder at Irving Shipbuilding, it could be a Red Seal plumber, it could be a cybersecurity technician. So various careers within science, engineering, trades, and technology. And obviously, looking at advanced manufacturing, we're looking at robotics, AI, really cool careers that young women in particular may not be aware of, but may also not see themselves in these areas. So Techsploration Goes to Work is that work site experience. Students have, work on hands-on activities, and they learn everything that they can about their role model, her career path, that sort of thing. All of the information that they're learning from that worksite experience takes them to phase 2 of our program. And in between phase 1 and phase 2, they're spending lunch hours and afternoons supervised by a Techsploration teacher, really developing their career research and career development skill set. So they're basically developing a presentation on their female role model. And then they deliver the first run of that presentation at Techsploration Goes to School in front of their entire school. So we know it takes a lot of guts to take a mic and communicate, not just in front of one person, but in front of your entire school. And doing that at the age of 14 or 15 is pretty impressive. So part of our program is also about building confidence and ensuring that young women have the confidence to see themselves in these careers. So at phase 2, they do that presentation in front of their school and also in front of their role model. There's a debriefing session that takes place with their role model, who will provide additional information if they got anything incorrect, so improving accuracies, that sort of thing, on what she does. That then takes them to phase 3, our Techsplorer events, which are basically divisional conferences. And they do a formal presentation on their role model in front of other schools. And I will note that we work with about 40 schools across the province in Nova Scotia, reaching about 3,500 students per year. So we up the ante. We have a top presentation award. So they take this very, very seriously. It's a competitive process. But at the same time, they're learning about all of these other different careers and role models thriving within these sectors. I will note that during phase 1, 2, and 3 of our program, students are also participating in round robin sessions. So additional sessions, basically like speed learning, where they're meeting even more female role models in various sectors. So the point, that's why we call this exploring the power and possibilities. They're seeing as many different career options in these in-demand fields as much as possible. Phase 4 of our program takes place the fall of each year, and we're actually holding our first virtual event next week, actually November 6th, our alumni conference. And we're bringing together the young women who participate in our program in grade 9. So they're coming back in grades 10, 11, and 12 for an event that incorporates really technical workshop skill sets. So they may be doing a 25-minute to a 45-minute workshop on cybersecurity. They could be doing another workshop on industrial technology. So lots of varying aspects here. And again, during the alumni conference, they also participate actually in an additional round robin series where they meet even more female role models. So you're going to see a theme there. So that 4-phase model is our focus. And I will note that obviously with COVID-19, we've talked a lot today about adapting. That entire model is now virtual. So this year and likely next, we're focusing on Techsploration goes virtual. So this model is now going to be in an online format, and we will be incorporating VR technology as part of this. So I was really excited to hear about the AI initiatives in advanced manufacturing as well. So just a couple of different facts about our program model. The young women who participate in our program meet about 125 different female role models between grade 9 all the way through to grade 12. They participate in online hands-on safety courses. That's a priority with our programming. They're also eligible for scholarships once they hit grade 12 if they're pursuing studies in science, engineering, trades, and technology fields. Basically, one of the successful components of our program is not that this is just a one-off messaging. We're not a one-day event, once in their lifetime. They're continuously coming back to participate in our program year after year after year, and often return as role models. Once they've pursued a career in one of these areas. So metrics, that's another important part of what we do. We need to know how our program model is working, what's working well, what is in areas of improvement. But this is just sort of to highlight the importance of career exploration and the impact that it has on increasing awareness of in-demand careers that many youth aren't aware about. So for example, 99% of our alumni have said that Techsploration introduced them to career opportunities they don't think they would have known about otherwise. 87% have said that Techsploration encouraged them to pursue fields of education they would not have considered otherwise. 96% said that Techsploration improved their confidence about future career possibilities. And 75% said that Techsploration influenced their decision to enroll in math and science courses in high school beyond the basic level required for high school. And that's an important part of what we do too. If we want to have more youth going into these fields, they need to take the math and science required to get into them. And that's why we start in grade 9. In Nova Scotia, that's the year that students choose the math and science courses that they need to pursue post-secondary school. So that's why we have to reach them at an early age, and some would say even younger, and I would agree with that. But that's so that's one of the reasons we start in grade 9. And I just highlighted a quote here as well that from a recent study, fairly recent study at Mount St. Vincent University. Girls who have engaged in STEM activities in the past 12 months were 2.7 times more likely to consider a STEM career. So the results indicate that the most effective way to encourage youth to pursue fields in STEM trades-related fields is to actively engage them in STEM-related activities, which is what we focus on. So just to wrap things up, from an impact and influence perspective, the importance of career exploration, it encourages informed career decisions. It builds the confidence of the young women in particular, and that's a gender lens with our program, to overcome gender-based barriers. Certainly retention is another important part. If we're encouraging youth to go into these fields, and young women in particular, we need to keep them there too. So we also need to ensure that they know that they may address gender-based barriers. How can we overcome them? How can we work with industry to create safe working environments for everyone? Our program advances math and science education to get individuals into these fields. But also the primary focus is changing attitudes and perspectives, which links to demystifying career stereotypes. What does it mean to be in advanced manufacturing? What does that look like? So you don't know what you don't know, right? So you need to have the opportunity to try out something to better understand it. And that's really the focus of a career exploration program. Please feel free to reach out if you have any questions regarding Techsploration's program model. It has been a very successful model, you know, with the industry partners that we work with. And it's going to look different, our program model this year, but we're pretty excited about it.